So I'm somebody in the past that has suffered through depression severely to a point where I cannot physically do anything with myself to take myself to the next level. And all I did was remain stagnant. I remained stuck, complacent, stuck in my bad habits, like really bad. You know what I mean? I cannot have the ambition, the motivation, the drive to do anything except work, a low paying job at the time. And what followed my depression was smoking, sometimes drinking, watching the prawn, jacking off. You know what I'm saying? Just being really lazy and stuck in this vicious cycle of procrastination. And the level of procrastination was really bad. And this was my depression doing this to me. And my depression got real severe to a point where I thought about the S word. I'm not going to say it because of YouTube policies, but y'all know what I mean. And I had this problem for about 4 or 5 years. But now I cured my depression. I want to say the Most High cured my depression, and this came with taking care of myself better. This came with managing my life better. You know what I mean? Like around 2020, 2021, in those years, my depression became fully cured. And those years following that, like up until now, I have not once felt depressed. Of course, I'm going to have my down days. Of course, I'm going to have days where I'm not feeling the best. But it's nothing compared to the levels of gloom that I felt when I was depressed. The levels of depression that I have fought in those years. It's nowhere near. Because yeah, I'll go through a temporary bad day, but I'll get over it. Any problems, any conflict, it's temporary. I know that. And I know I'm going to get through no matter what I go through. But see, the thing about depression is if you know somebody or if you yourself have experienced depression, you know how it feels. It's very paralyzing, mentally and physically, right? But this is something that I've discovered with depression. I believe that depression is a demonic attack. It's a demonic attack on your mind, on your body, on your spirit. And I believe that depression is of the devil. And why do I say that? Why do I say it's of the devil? And I want y'all to stick with me through this message, because you may not want to hear it, but it's something that you definitely need to hear. Depression is a demonic attack on your life. It's not something that you're diagnosed with from a doctor. It's not something that everyone has told you for years and years about depression. It's not what scientists are telling you. It's not what doctors are telling you. It's not what your psychiatrist or your therapist is telling you. It is a demonic attack. Okay? Because if you think about it, right? When you look at a happy person, when you look at somebody that is fulfilled with their life, like truly fulfilled with themselves and their life, how often do you see that they're depressed? They're never depressed. Somebody that is truly happy in their life, they have a family, they got a good career, they got God in their life. Most importantly, you got God in your life. You can't tell me that you're stuck in depression. You can't tell me that. If you're truly fulfilled in life and you reach to a point where you're happy, and I'll go one further, if you're doing for others, if you're helping people through the way, you are, bringing people up in your life, then how can you be depressed? I've never met I never met somebody that helped people and was depressed at the same time. I never met that individual. I never met somebody that was so-called depressed and they were doing for others. They were being charitable to others. They were being a cheerful giver. I don't remember seeing that person depressed. Because I'm going to tell you something about depression. Depression is also another form of selfishness. I bet you didn't know that. It's another form of selfishness, selfish behavior, meaning you only think about your own problems. You only think about your own issues. You only think about me, I. It's all about you. It's not about what other people could be going through. There's 7 billion people in this world. You are not alone. There are way more people going through worse, more difficult trials than you. Way worse situations than you. There are people really battling in their life. Homeless, no food, no stable income, no job, nothing to their name. No house, out in the streets trying to fend for themselves. But you got a roof on top of your head. You got clean water. You got running water on top of that. You got heat, you got electric, you got all the essentials, you got all the utilities that you need to get by. You got a vehicle that works. You have a check coming in every other week, right? So it's like, what can you really be depressed about? If you really look at your life and really examine your life, look at your life. Are you really depressed as you claim to be? Or are you getting to a point now where it's like, this is a demonic attack on my life and I need to cast it out. I need to manage my life better. I got to start being more grateful for my life and what I have. The little things that I have, I got to learn to be grateful for those little things. Be grateful for the small stuff that you receive, because that behavior impresses the Lord. That behavior pleases God to want to bless you with more stuff, perhaps bigger stuff in the future, if you continue to be obedient to him. But when you're stuck in depression, you can't be obedient to the Lord because you're focused on your own problems. You know, you're focused on just you, and you're stuck in your own way. You look at depression, it causes you to self-destruct. Being self-destructive and trying to be obedient to Christ don't go hand in hand. That combination don't work. So I know a lot of y'all, you may disagree with this message, but it's all good. I'm speaking from the heart here and from my own experience with depression. I had to get my life back on track because my life was turning into a sinking ship. And life was becoming the tempted sea. So I had to take the ship